Just say you can't afford it. The chat is for rich people because that's your quality control.
You're just an OnlyFans femboy for incels. One final story I want to talk about today is the latest from Nick Fuentes, the far-right streaming star and internet sensation, who I've been very clear I think is a hateful extremist and actually just a fraud who he's actually smart, unlike some of the low IQ grifters. He's actually a very smart guy, but I just don't think he actually believes most of the things he says. I think he's taking his audience of gullible young men who feel, sometimes for understandable reasons, disillusioned with society and their prospects. I think he's taking them for a ride. I think he's milking them for their money and for this faux celebrity status that he has on social media and the attention he's addicted to. But the strangest thing to me has always been how he essentially openly mocks and insults them, and they seem to almost enjoy it. It's genuinely strange stuff, but I'm going to play a clip for you where he kind of went mask off. He kind of admitted it, that he's just scamming and trolling his audience and he despises them. Listen to this clip where he shames most of his audience for being poor. Watch this.
Hey Nick, why do you charge $100 per month for the Telegram group? I sent a month's membership just for this one message. Pretty elitist and Jewish of you to prey on goyim like that. P.S. You should shave.
Oh, thank you for the compliment. It was elitist and Jewish of me? What do you mean by that? Successful, upper crust, dominates the field. Thanks for the compliment. Look, the chat is for rich people. Just say you're broke. Just say you can't afford it. The chat is for rich people because that's your quality control. It's called economy. We could open up a group chat for $5 a month and every numbskull with the $5 bill would be in there trolling, carrying on, being fucking annoying. You make it $100 a month, you get far fewer people, still hundreds of people in there, but you get fewer people. It's a selection bias. It's a filter. How much is it worth to you? If you can scrape together $100 to talk to me, you're worthy. If you can't scrape together $100, I don't know what to tell you. Get a paper route. I don't know what to tell you. Pretty elitist. You're right. It's called elite human capital. That's what we're looking for. Elite human capital. I am an elitist. We're not preying on anybody. We're telling people, look, this is the price. Many can afford it. More cannot. And that's sort of the point. You want the show? It's free. You want to talk to me? Well, you got to pony up.
Communism.
Wow. Just wow. There's so much to unpack there. For one thing, this is the guy who has talked for years about Jews ripping people off with usury and scamming people and taking all their money and how greedy they are. And this hoe is charging $100 a month just to be in a group chat with him. Listen, there's nothing wrong with fan funding. Become a channel member, by the way, to support my independent analysis and commentary. But I'm charging people $3.99 a month for that. And that's just if you can support me, $100 a month. And he says he has hundreds of people signed up. So that means he's making tens of thousands of dollars off of this group chat of simps who pay just to be in a chat with him. And then he's insulting the audience, saying, you're not worth talking to if you're not giving me at least $1,200 a year. That's diabolical. That means you literally just, you're open. You don't care what your fans think unless they're just shelling out large sums of money to you that a lot of struggling people you claim to care about so much cannot afford to just be handing out $1,200 to a streamer every year. And it's so funny because sometimes Nick Fuentes here cosplays like I'm a struggling working class person. This hoe's making 20 or 30 grand minimum a month just from the Telegram chat by his own admission. And then all these super chats. I mean, this dude is making millions per year on this. And so he's cosplaying as a working class guy. And it's so funny because he played the victim and whined when Tucker Carlson mocked him as a gay kid in his mom's basement. He's like, yeah, a lot of us do live in our basements. A lot of us do struggle. We are low income. What about it? What about it, Tucker? And he acted like it was so outrageous. And here he is calling everyone broke and mocking them and saying he doesn't give a shit what you think or want to talk to you unless you're giving him $100 a month. And it's so funny too, because he'd be the first to rant about OnlyFans girls ripping men off and taking hundreds of their dollars, thousands of their dollars per year. And it's like, you're just an OnlyFans femboy for incels. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Nick. You are an OnlyFans femboy for incels. That's the reality here. And there's levels to this. There's layers to this. How hilarious this is. And when he says that's the quality test, I'm sorting out the broke people, it's like he rails against the elites, and then here he is being the most elitist, obnoxious dude imaginable. It really, and I have to be honest with y'all, they like it. When you watch his clips, a significant number of these men send in messages to him just knowing that he will insult them and degrade them. It feels like we're watching a phone sex hotline that specializes in people whose kink is being degraded. That genuinely is the relationship that Nick Fuentes has with a lot of these groypers. And you know what? If you have humiliation kinks, that's fine, I guess. I'm not even here judging you or saying that makes you a bad person or anything. I don't really want to know about it. Maybe you could do it in a less public manner. But also to be so freaky like that and then also be the most judgmental social conservative Christians ever, supposedly, is a little bit hypocritical, a little bit diabolical, I would say. So maybe chill with that if you're going to be asking your daddy to humiliate you in front of all your groyper friends and paying money to be ritualistically shamed and embarrassed for some sort of gratification. I don't know. That's what it seems like to me. But I found this ridiculous because he's kind of admitting, like, every time he does these kinds of rants, the mask slips a little bit and you can see what contempt he has for his audience. And I just found it to be deeply revealing. While we're talking about revealing moments from right-wing commentators, I also want to briefly discuss this clip from Megyn Kelly, who, I should be clear, is not somebody who I hate or think is terrible. I've had a lot of respect for her work in the past over the years, but I do think her take on this shooting in Minnesota by Alex Pretti, I think her take on this was heartless and disappointing. I want to play you that clip. Listen to this.
I know I'm supposed to feel sorry for Alex Pretti, but I don't. I don't. Do you know why I wasn't shot by Border Patrol this weekend? Because I kept my ass inside and out of their operations. It's very simple. If I felt strongly enough about something the government was doing that I would go out and protest, I would do it peacefully on the sidewalk without interfering, via a whistle, via shouting, via my body, via any other way. I would make my objections known by standing there without interfering, because interfering is where you go south. And laying hands on a police officer trying to, or Border Patrol officer or ICE officer trying to conduct a law enforcement operation is a felony. And now you are going to get arrested. And if you do anything that resembles resisting, you're in serious trouble.
Yikes. This take just feels like utterly devoid of empathy and compassion and humanity. You might think that the shooting of Alex Pretti was legally justified, or that the Border Patrol officers had no choice. I don't agree with that sentiment, but we could have that debate. But you should still acknowledge that his life matters, and that he was a person. He was a citizen of our great country. He was a emergency room or ICU nurse. I don't recall which off the top of my head, but he was somebody who gave back to his community and added value. He had loved ones. He had family members. And it is gross to just glibly say, I don't care that he's dead because I think he made some bad choices. None of those bad choices warrant a death penalty or a death sentence. And if you think it's like just an unfortunate outcome that happened because of a series of bad choices and mistakes and what have you, and it was legally justified, okay, but don't pretend that it's not sad, his life doesn't matter. And frankly, that's the same kind of thinking and rhetoric that people like Megyn and myself rejected and found disgusting when it came to people who mocked the death of Charlie Kirk or said that he didn't matter or they didn't care about him. Actually, human life has value, and we should not want to see people killed, even if they have different political beliefs than us, even if they make some bad decisions, doesn't mean they deserve to die. And then she's also, I think, mischaracterizing Alex Pretti. He did not go out there to lay hands on an officer or obstruct them while they were arresting an illegal immigrant criminal or anything like that. He went out there to record law enforcement. That's what he set out to do, which he is legally and constitutionally entitled to do. He then saw Border Patrol officers shoving a woman to the ground unprovoked, who I don't think that woman was an illegal immigrant. And regardless, it's not like they were engaged in legitimate, totally 100% valid, normal arrest of an illegal alien. And then he tried to intervene. He stepped in between the officer and the woman who he had just brutalized for no apparent reason. And he almost tried to disarm the situation, putting a hand up and then touching the officer as well gently. Should you touch an officer? No, but it's not like he laid hands on him and tried to fight the officer or anything like that. It wasn't done in a threatening way. He was then pepper sprayed, pinned to the ground, and then shot after being disarmed while his hands were being restrained and pinned to the ground, and he couldn't have hurt anybody. To say that any of the choices that he made, even if some of them were definitely ill-advised or bad choices to make, mean that he deserved to die or he doesn't matter, or also the idea that, well, the easy way to not get killed by ICE is to stay home. Yeah, no, that's not acceptable, actually. And people they don't forfeit their right to life or suddenly their death isn't sad just because they don't stay home. They have a right to protest. They have a right to film. And that logic could be applied in all sorts of situations. Oh, Ashley Babbitt's death on January 6th isn't sad because she should have stayed home. No, I mean, listen, I ultimately actually think the shooting of Ashley Babbitt was legally justified as a use of force by an officer, but I still think her life is being lost is sad. I would never say I don't care that she died. Rest in piss. And I think that Megyn would be rightfully horrified by someone expressing those kinds of sentiments. But for whatever reason, because the partisan and ideological alignments here have switched, she's singing a different tune. And I find that to be really indefensible and disappointing. But that's just my take. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, to hit the like button, and all of that. And that'll be it for today's episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk again real soon.